Morning. I'm going to read from the man who inspired me to become a writer, Raymond Carver. I was in my 20s, just newly sober, and fell in love with books. And I was just reading for pleasure for the most part until I came across Raymond Carver. And when I started reading his stories, it was the first time I thought to myself, I wonder if I could do this. So this, Raymond Carver, for those of you who don't know, never wrote a novel. He was a short story writer. I suppose he tried to write a novel. I don't know for sure. He was only 50 when he died of cancer, but by that time he'd already established himself as sort of the master of the short story. Most of you probably know this, but the movie Shortcuts is based on his stories. And this story that I'm going to read from, A Small Good Thing, is the one with Lyle Lovett playing the baker. And I think Andie MacDowell played the mother whose little boy she came in and ordered a cake for. Saturday afternoon, she drove to the bakery in the shopping center. After looking through a loose-leaf binder with photographs of cakes taped into the pages, she ordered chocolate, the child's favorite. The cake she chose was decorated with a spaceship and a launching pad under a sprinkling of white stars and a planet made of red frosting at the other end. His name, Scotty, would be in green letters beneath the planet. The baker, who was an older man with a thick neck, listened without saying anything when she told him the child would be 8 years old next Monday. The baker wore a white apron that looked like a smock. Straps cut under his arms, went around and back and then to the front again where they were secured under his heavy waist. He wiped his hands on his apron as he listened to her. He kept his eyes down on the photograph and let her talk. He let her take her time. He'd just come to work, and he'd be there all night baking, and he was in no real hurry. She gave the baker her name, Ann Weiss, and her telephone number. The cake would be ready on Monday morning, just out of the oven, and plenty of time for the child's party that afternoon. The baker was not jolly. There were no pleasantries between them, just the minimum exchange of words, the necessary information. He made her feel uncomfortable, and she didn't like that. While he was bent over the counter with the pencil in his hand, she studied his coarse features and wondered if he'd ever done anything else with his life besides be a baker. She was a mother and 33 years old, and it seemed to her that everyone, especially someone the baker's age, a man old enough to be her father — I guess they didn't typecast Lyle Lovett from the story — must have children who'd gone through his special time of cakes and birthday parties. There must be that between them, she thought. But he was abrupt with her, not rude, just abrupt. She gave up trying to make friends with him. She looked into the back of the bakery and could see a long, heavy wooden table with aluminum pie pans stacked at one end, and beside the table a metal container filled with empty racks. There was an enormous oven. A radio was playing country western music. The baker finished printing the information on the special order card and closed up the binder. He looked at her and said, "Monday morning." She thanked him and drove home. So, in case you can't tell, the thing that made Carver different and special was his use of detail and just the minimum amount of words to get across the point that he was trying to make and the story that he was trying to tell. He was just an amazing writer. A Small Good Thing from his collection called Where I'm Calling From. Hope you have a great day. Thanks.